What's up, everyone? James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to the news that Usman Nurmagomedov has been suspended for 6 months following a failed drug test by the California State Athletic Commission. Cole Shelton from BJPenn.com, the first one reporting the news. I know a lot of people are crediting Ariel Helwani. It actually was Cole who got the news here first, but Ariel does have a good follow-up tweet here, which does clarify a few things, because when you read this, you automatically think PEDs. It's not the case. Per Foster, because Ariel spoke to Andy Foster, the head of the CSAC, Nurmagomedov had a prescription but failed to apply for a TUE, which is a therapeutic use exemption. So that's why he got busted, and it's going to be a 6-month suspension. His win over Brent Primus at Bellator 300 turned over to a no contest. So that's a pretty big deal. So he's out of the tournament, which sucks. And honestly, there's no excuse for this. I know there's going to be a lot of fans, moronic fans, coming in here and saying that Usman was using steroids. That's not the case. We don't know exactly what's happened here. So I want to get that out of the way, because there's going to be a lot of people reading this and saying, oh, he's a cheater and all this stuff. That's not what's happening here. But honestly, in 2023, and I don't know who's around him as far as his team and all that. We know who his manager is. Not going to go into that. But how do you not, file this stuff with the Athletic Commission in this day and age, with everything going on, with the amount of drug testing and all this different stuff in the sport? How do you not mention that you're taking a prescription? Like, that's just idiotic to me. So this is, this is a big deal. Again, Usman's out of the tournament. I know there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Bellator right now in terms of their future and all that, but this is not a good look, regardless of, what he was using that for, or what the issue was. To have any sort of issue with the Athletic Commission is not something you want to have on your resume there. So Brent Primus, it appears, from the sounds of it, will be moving on. Brent Primus releasing a statement here. He says, today I was informed by Andy Foster that my opponent from Bellator 300 tested positive for a banned substance. Actually, I think Cole had this in here too. He didn't actually know, he didn't have the statement from Primus, but we'll read it anyways. He says that I'd like to thank the CSAC and Bellator for working together to promote a clean sport. I'm in the gym training hard and really want to get back into the Grand Prix. So yeah, really big setback here for Usman Nurmagomedov. And I just want to point out the obvious here. If this happened to Primus, if Primus was the one caught doing this, if this was a Brazilian fighter caught doing this, the Dagestani fans would be coming for their throats. So I just want to point out that, again, I think I'm going pretty light here on what's happened with Usman Nurmagomedov. But if this was the other way around, the fans would be rioting right now. They'd be upset. They'd be going on and on about, this, and you can't just let this skate by. So it's an unfortunate situation. Again, we don't have any proof that he was using performance-enhancing drugs. It was just a prescription, as you can see here. And the fight has been turned to a no contest. But man, in this day and age, you got to make sure you're filing everything with the commission. Like, there's just no excuse for that at this point. So really, unfortunate. Also forgot to mention they are not releasing what the substance was. It would be great if they would, just to clear this all up, right? Why are they not releasing? I don't understand that. It's also been fined $50K. That's a lot of money. And enrolling in VADA, which is what Bellator uses for their drug testing. And just to follow this up, Chris Cyborg had a tweet as well, mentioning that she's been tested 5 times during her camp against Kat Zingano. This idea that Bellator does not drug test its biggest stars is false. And plus, if you're Bellator, you don't want this to happen. Usman Nurmagomedov is one of their biggest stars. So why would you want, why of all people would they want to have him get suspended? So yeah, Bellator does drug tests. Every now and then we see a suspension, and just unfortunate this happened to Usman. I mean, he's young enough that this isn't going to derail his career, but it's still not a good look, and it's still not something we should just gloss over here. I'd like to figure out exactly, I'm sure we're going to get a statement from Usman and his team here, but really unfortunate as Usman Nurmagomedov out of the Bellator Grand Prix, and Brent Primus appearing to be moving on. That's kind of the rumblings of what we're hearing, is that Primus, I believe, will move on with it being a no contest, or maybe actually should mention, we don't have clarification on that yet. Maybe an alternate comes in. I'm not sure, but either way, Usman is out of the Grand Prix, which is kind of a bummer there. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What was your initial reaction to this? What do you think should happen with Usman out of the tournament? Should Primus advance? Should someone else get the spot? Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @LynchOnSports. I'm James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.